Now, since I've been working on playing Red Dead Redemption from June 29th to July 30th, getting the Platinum Trophy, I thought I would, make a video about it and justify my time not spent editing Dice Curse Meals 5, which I should have. Because I don't want, just like a person to look at my PlayStation account and see that I got 100%, then forget about it for a second. Because, I want to talk about how I got the trophies, because it took a whole month of grinding during my summer vacation. And to just also tell you, I got all the DLC trophies too, which were mostly online trophies. Besides some trophies for Undead Nightmare, there's still online trophies for Undead Nightmare, which is stupid. There's way more online trophies than Red Dead Redemption 2. And I was concerned about, the online getting shut down any day now, so that's why I, wanted to do this, because of Red Dead Redemption 1 Remastered possibly coming out. Because, what they did with the GTA trilogy, they just took it off the PlayStation Store, instantly. So I think they could do the same with Red Dead Online, and I was concerned with that happening. And luckily I wasn't alone, like I was with the Red Dead Redemption 2 Platinum. I got my boy Gavin there to help me. And without him, it would literally be impossible. You really need boosting partners for this. But we didn't earn just easy trophies. I wouldn't say it's just boosting trophies. We did things that you actually have to work for, getting gold medals in co-op missions, the advanced co-op missions, which are pretty difficult, and do really stupidly specific stuff, like win a game of poker when all blinds are maxed out with 6 real people in online. So it is very difficult, more so than you'd think it would be. And I would have to say this is my proudest Platinum Trophy of all time too, because any day now it could become unobtainable, which I have said. So that's also why we both are going to go for the GTA 4 Platinum, because that could also happen with the online getting shut down. And I bought him a PS3 with a copy of Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year Edition. So I just want to ensure that I get all the online trophies I can, And this was my first time playing Red Dead Redemption 1. Well, it wasn't my first time. I played it last year in August, but I did not really progress that far into the story. I didn't even go into Mexico or anything. I just stopped 10 or 15 missions in. And actually, I am glad I started off with the sequel, because pretty much Red Dead Redemption 2 is the first game, and the first game is the sequel, I would say. If that makes sense. I definitely still do prefer the second game, though. It has something that this game really doesn't. It's just more mind-blowing of an experience, I guess. But I first played and finished the second game in 2020, and it took me 3 years to get the Platinum. I got the Platinum with the second game in July of last year, and I still hadn't touched the first game. I mean, I've, like I said earlier, I played in August of last year, but not that much of it. And sadly, I kind of knew how this game was going to pan out. And I kind of like where Red Dead Redemption 2 left off. So I didn't really want to see how it was going to end, but I like that I played it when I did. Because it felt like I grew up more with it, and that's how I like to enjoy things. I don't want to experience it too fast, Now to go on a little side tangent about the story, I don't really know where I'd put this, so I guess here's at least, a pretty good place to do it. I don't think the story was as good as the second game was. It was still fantastic, but also it was really, really padded. And the missions generally didn't lead anywhere in the direction of the game or the story. Because you have to hunt Javier and Bill and Dutch, and that's just pretty much what the story is. But that's literally every Rockstar game in existence. That's just how they're made, But also, I felt like everything that was said in the second game was, for one, done better, and two, it takes away everything that happens in the second game and just ends the same place Red Dead Redemption 2 does. So it just felt like everything was for nothing in John's redemption arc. really is not as compelling as Arthur's is, because he kind of stays the same character he is at the beginning of the story. It really does make me wonder where the redemption of Red Dead Redemption came from, but I haven't really gone on deep thinking about the narrative for this game that much. These are just pretty surface level thoughts. And you also got to keep in mind that I played the second game first, so I probably am kind of biased towards it. But honestly, I would prefer anyone to experience the series the way I did, because I don't think you could really appreciate Red Dead 1's story without playing 2, but you can really play it any way you want. Anyways, back to completion stuff. This was really easy in my opinion, compared to the second game at least, because if you've ever tried to 100% it, or get all the trophies, you would know how much of a pain it is to do. And yes, there's a crap ton of grinding still, but there's less requirements for completion, and I might just be used to grinding by now, so it feels like nothing. But don't worry, you still will be depressed and yearn to do something useful with your life while you do it, so it's not like it's that easy. Now, if this was just a single player trophies, I would have gotten this in like 2 weeks, but sadly where most of my time has to be spent was the online mode, and to be honest, it wasn't that bad, especially since I had my friend to play it with, so it didn't feel like I was a hermit that couldn't leave my cave because I had to grind the online mode for hours on end, like it was with the original. Not the original, I mean like the sequel. Oops. Now, for as much crap as I'm giving the online trophies, they aren't the worst part in a way, because you see, the main game online trophies are pretty doable, but if you look at the trophy list, there's an ungodly amount of DLC trophies. And I didn't want to leave any trophy unpopped for this, so that is actually where most of my time was spent. Me and Gavin started off doing the main list trophies, like get 10 assists at a hideout, and get through it in 4 consecutive wins in a free-for-all match, and stuff like that. But after that, we focused on getting gold medals in the co-op missions, which took a while and hours of working until 6 in the morning on multiple occasions. But eventually, we finished that, and then we got to work with getting the gold medals in advanced co-op missions. And we got down to 2 missions left. Luckily, while we were doing the advanced co-op missions, Gavin was literally our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and found somebody who wanted to get all the trophies too. So the guy Gavin found got his friend to help us, and some missions would literally be way harder without 2 more guys to do it with. So they were majorly helpful, and I am so glad we found them, because without them, it would be like impossible, basically. Now, these advanced co-op trophies wasn't hard because it required a lot of people. It was hard because, well, it was like actually hard and a little bullshit at times. But I'm not gonna lie, it was actually a pretty enjoyable challenge in a way. That is at least what I wrote down until we helped our boosting partners, because they needed to do every mission, so we redid all 6 missions in 3 hours so they could get the trophy too. So I guess if you're going for it with 4 people, that makes it infinitely more easier if you just and one partner are just doing it together. But by this point, we had a group of 4 other people, so I knew if we grinded we would get all the trophies all together. But another problem I had was the Undead Nightmare DLC, because the thing is, I bought the original game DLC free, because the thing is, I bought the original game because I like the cover, and then I bought the DLC because, you know, I also like the cover, and I don't like the lazily overly designed Game of the Year edition one, you know. But when I put it in, it just didn't work, and it was stuck on an install screen, and I cleaned it again and again and again, and it still didn't work. So basically my only option at that point was to just, you know, sell my 2 copies of the game and get the Game of the Year edition. So I went to the retro game store, but it wasn't there. But when I was looking at PS3 games, just a little in between 2 games was the disc for Game of the Year edition for some reason. Even the people there didn't know why that was there. So I guess I'll just take that as a sign from Jesus that he wanted to help me get the trophies. I think I have the case somewhere.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
So that's how I ended with this caseless version of the game. And I got a case from the guy after I found it. But anyways, after that long ass story, let's get back to the trophies. The rest of the trophies were hard, because you see, most of the trophies are very specific, so you'll need boosters, and I can't emphasize how much harder it would be without boosters. But the biggest problem is that you don't need just one booster or two, you need 6 for this very specific trophy, where you have to get all blinds at a maximum in poker, and in my opinion, this was the worst trophy. I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, and it took a few days for us to even find the people needed for this. Luckily, we got a few people through trial and error, and we all took turns getting it, and then I finally got this dreaded ass trophy. And just to show how important it was, I actually recorded it, so I'll just show you the footage. To the winner. Okay, I think I finally got the Poker Ace trophy. There we go. That is days of work right there just for a stupid thing. It took like we had to get like 5 people for this, so we had to get a big crew for it. But now, we could get the Kingpin trophy, which requires killing 8 random people. So we got lucky, and now I finally have this super rare trophy. And just like I said in that video, the only trophy left I had to do was the Kingpin trophy, and that requires getting 8 unique kills in a game of land grab. And we did have 8 people at that point, but it was just a very chaotic lobby, but I got the trophy, luckily. Some people didn't, sadly, but we tried to help the people that we could at the end, and they did get the trophy, luckily. And at that point, all that was needed was in arm's reach, because I got all the hard trophies, and I just needed to reach rank 50 in online mode. And it took a total of 5 days and hours of grinding the same hideout over and over again until I got level 50, thank God. Like, I literally see the sun setting from how much I was playing. Like, the sun would be like up in the sky, then it would be setting because of how much I was playing. And like that feeling when you want to do something else so badly, but you can't? That's what I was like doing this. It was literally that miserable. And basically, that was all the online trophies. That was a way shorter video to record than I actually thought it would be. I thought that would be like most of the video, but at this point, all that I had left was the Undead Nightmare DLC. And I did do that for the next few days, but I'm gonna be honest, the Undead Nightmare DLC was not really my favorite. Basically, the mission structure was just, as grindy as the challenges were, but luckily you only had to get up to rank 5 and not rank 10 as you did in the story, so it was less horrible. After I got 100% in Undead Nightmare, the only trophy that was left was the 500 Gatling gun kills. And all that had to be done for that was going to El Presido and using the Gatling gun to take out undead, because that works with them too for some reason. And then after 40 minutes of repeatedly doing the same thing over and over, the platinum popped. And, there was still a little hole left in me after doing it, but I'm proud of myself. But anyways, by the end, I wondered how high my kill count was, because it felt like I just wiped out the entire population of the world in 1911. And I did a little math by combining every game mode of online, single player, and Undead Nightmare. And in total, I killed 13,259 people. Undead are included. And so I basically committed a little genocide right there. And if you want to know even more stats and how many hours it took for me to never want to pick this game up again, my total time spent playing was 122 hours, 49 minutes, and 59 seconds. And that was with me being a little slow at times during the story. If you want to speedrun this game, or you've already finished some stuff, it'll be way less time for you. But that was how much time it took for me all month doing it. Yeah, I think that's basically all I needed to talk about for this video, but I would think of how I could be making videos instead when I get platinums like this. So actually turning it into content and talking about the experience always makes it worth it, I guess, even though after I got the platinum I was basically dead inside. So maybe I'll do more. Maybe I'll do the GTA 4 platinum when I do get that. But yeah, that was a whole damn adventure just to get some digital accomplishments, basically. So I guess I'll get back to editing Dice Chris Nails 5, which is like the worst one in my opinion. Of course, if you want to look at my trophies, my PSN is butternuts5554. And if you want to follow my Instagram just so you could get any updates or see whatever crazy shenanigans I'm up to, you can there. And also subscribe, please, because this is my new channel since my old one is gone. And I'm only like at 8 subscribers right now. So I'll do anything for you to subscribe. I'll lick your feet, I'll lick the ground, I'll suck your dick, I'll do anything. Please, please subscribe. Anyways, bye.
Who are you trying to impress?